Jennifer, just a quick bio on you.
Hey, hi, John. Sorry, when you said hello earlier, my mic was
It's all
not
good.
on and I was just carrying on a conversation. I am in Albuquerque and I have lived in New Mexico now for 8.5 years. My husband and I moved out here with our two kiddos. We just packed up everything from back east with no jobs and no place to live, and we
That's
just
adventure living right
came to
there.
the land of enchantment.
I
I
love it.
found a job when I got here with Miss Janae Minicucci. I met
Wow.
her, yes, and I've
You need
just
to go to the casino.
uh, hey, I did go to the casino recently, but it was to cash in all of my coins. It was $300 of coins I had saved.
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Kind of went the opposite way there. I'm like,
Yeah.
check it out. This is what
Harping.
I
happens
like
when
it.
you save your money.
I
Mhm.
love it.
I am so anyways, John, I've been in special education for 19 years, going on 20. I started in Maryland and just being in special education, UDL is so dear to my heart
Yeah.
uh, because it's so
Yeah.
proactive and not
If
reactive.
if I
So
can generalize, I'm generalizing,
sure,
but
generalize Jennifer's life.
all too often in my career, all too often, special ed means you go to do different worksheets with a different lady.
Hmm. Yes.
It doesn't connect with the classroom.
No.
Wow,
It's
that's
just a place where an adult stands there like this and watches
Yeah.
you do the worksheet. And it's not very uplifting. Like, I don't
No.
get it.
And so
I don't
that's
get
what
it.
we're doing in New Mexico. We're really shifting the mindset. It's not a place, and it's equity for all students.
Mhm.
So we love what we do, and we are so excited that you're here tonight because we do love protocols. It gives
Right
us a
on. Okay.
framework. Yeah.
Michelle and Carrie, we're just doing just because we're a nice, concise group here. I really want to customize it to what you guys bring to the party. Michelle, tell me just a little bit about your background so I can be aware.
Sure. I'm a structural literacy coach for CREC, and I'm supporting an elementary school K-5 this year. And I went to your previous training when you came to New Mexico, UDL training last
Oh
year.
yeah, last spring. Yeah, I think.
Yes, and I was just so motivated. I brought like bookets to my campuses and that I've supported, and just that repetition and those reps of skills and vocabulary. So it's been really helpful. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Very cool. And I'll talk about this some more in a little bit, but I've got a friend in West Virginia whose class is, listen to this, her special ed class is in the top half of the county scores on state testing.
John,
Guess
I'm
what
from
she
West
uses?
Virginia. You have to tell me what county in West Virginia.
Oh, I gotta find out. I can connect you guys,
Okay, sounds
but
good.
it's in the western part of the state.
Okay, that's where I'm from.
Okay. Ooh, Tisha
I mean,
Skinner sound familiar at all?
no, no,
Okay.
but it is a very small population. So,
Okay. All right. Now we got more people, so we got to make the bio shorter so I can get to it. Because if we want to hang out on Zoom, we can do that any old time. Carrie, let's go.
Hello, I am Carrie Flores. I am the Director of Special Education for Las Cruces Public Schools. And we are here because we are really trying to get a refresher on UDL. We have also gone through some training refresher on SDI, Specially Designed Instruction. We are continuing to work with our instruction department and with our district instructional framework and trying to provide training district-wide on better tier one
Hmm. Hmm.
instruction and tier two and three interventions, but specifically specially designed instruction and the fact that it can be delivered in all settings, but
Correct.
we're trying to focus on how to do that. But most
I can
importantly,
tell you. I feel like I feel like on Saturday Night Live, there's that one skit with Kristen Wiig where she gives away the secret. Oh! I want. So yes, Carrie, we totally do that, and I think tier one is wildly misunderstood in all levels of education because you guys, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing sophomores in regular ed that are doing 9 times 4 like this. And I'm like, dude, no, no. And it's mind boggling. And in regular ed classes, I'm seeing fourth grade classrooms that are doing times tables in January. you are going to really damage that class because they're supposed to know that by third grade. And if you're still doing times tables in January, I can very quickly extrapolate that you're not going to get to decimals, which means fifth grade. So I loved DOK3 and Tier 3 work, but the emergency right now in school is nobody has the facts locked in. Well, when I say nobody, you know, it's not it's not the norm. Eric, a quick blurb from you, and then I'm going to get started, you guys.
There we go. Sorry, I couldn't find my audio button. My name is Eric Torres, and I work in Las Cruces High School. Not high school, sorry. Las Cruces Public Schools as well. And I work alongside with Carrie Flores, and I am one of these special education administrators for the district.
Now, New Mexico State's in Las Cruces, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've only been there once. It was as a Bulldog football player. We won 35-14. So I'm just saying. Okay, how do you guys like the picture-in-picture thing, by the way?
I love it.
Am I liking the screen? Hello, check this
Yes,
out.
totally
Check
floating.
this
That's
out.
awesome.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's not a special feature. You just have to explore the when you hit the share button. There's like 3 options. Okay, so I love a group this small because we can be totally informal. This is not a keynote. I want you guys to interrupt me. Janae, I'm on my laptop, so and then same to you. Who else am I looking at here? Oh, Rebecca, if anything shows up in the chat, let me know. I will stop immediately for stuff in the chat because
Gotcha.
I'm going to be showing and telling you guys things that are non-standard, which means you're going to be processed. You're going to be saying, what about this? So I really want to address those because if I don't, then you leave. And I'm guessing it's Rachel Helm. I'm guessing it's Rachel. Am I right at all, Rachel?
Rachel M.
Oh, Rachel M. Okay, yeah, Rachel.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. I was seeing Helm. Okay, Rachel M.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. Anyways, but I don't want Rachel or Rochelle to leave going, what was that? This guy's crazy. So, and I'm going to give you all the slides at the end too. So, first things first, we've all heard of that John Hattie stuff, right? Everybody talks about John Hattie, but what we try to do with protocols, if you're new to this, is we try to relate Hattie's work to the working class. And that is not what most people do. Agree or disagree with this statement? We've all been to a conference where the keynote speaker says, the kids should be working harder than the teachers. And we all go, yeah. And then we go back to class and do the same old thing.
Agreed.
So part of what we try to do with protocols is give you the what we do next portion. So take a look at this real quick, you guys. Okay, and this is not, I didn't make this, but I saw it on Twitter, so I grabbed it. The only instructional strategy with a negative effect size is lecturing. Let's process that for a second. Do you guys know how every October your insurance guy shows up to explain your retirement and your new policy? And all the adults at your school look with glazed eyes while they talk, and at the end they go, where do I sign? That's what happens to kids all day in school, whether they're in special ed, whether they're resource. We talk, and then when the kids don't do well, guess what the first teacher move is? Talk more. Because if I didn't talk enough, I'm going to talk more. And I'm going to tell you guys, I saw this myself a month and a half ago. I watched an online class do nothing for 45 minutes while the teacher explained MLA style to them. Nothing. They did nothing for 45 minutes. Listen to him talk. And the two really crazy parts were, one, he was telling him over and over again that MLA requires 2 spaces after a period. It does not, but it was his class, so I let it ride. And then this is the really sad part. He was looking through his Google Classroom and he said, student A, you've already turned in your work for Friday. There's no way it's done. I'm sending it back. Even look. I'm like, bro, that is not the way to grow your class. So bottom line, how do we get kids working more and how do we talk less? That's the deal right here, okay? And then I grabbed this off of the UDL page and I love this little graphic and I'm gonna show you guys some more my interpretation of UDL stuff. But look at this simple. We're using all the parts of the brain. How, what, why, right? How, what, why is not that fancy, but it engages different portions of their brain. Look what we're not engaging. It's the middle part, the amygdala. We are not engaging the amygdala. Why? When you're scared, you cannot learn. You physically cannot learn when you're scared. So that's why UDL doesn't have an activity for amygdalas, because if you're scared, we got problems. we got other problems besides that. So let me just do a quick check with y'all. How many of you seen me do the Fast and Curious before? Because I won't do it if you've already seen me do it. I'll put more time on other stuff. So hands up if you have.
We've got about 4. I would
Now,
say go for it.
okay, so here's what you guys and we had that, Carrie, I think you brought up the level 1 aspect, right? The tier 1 piece. And this is the fastest way to get your kids in any subject dialed in on tier 1. And it doesn't matter what. And I'm gonna brag a little and then we'll do one. What if I told you we could do 100 Latin roots in 2 weeks? That used to take me 26 weeks. But with the tools and the mindset that I have now, I can use Gimkit. And if you guys use BlueKit, that's okay. But I'm going to take you through one here real quick. So I'm going to go to Gimkit. How are you guys with Turkish foods? Do you guys have any Turkish speakers in the group? Okay, so I'm doing this on purpose because I want you to feel just as disoriented as a student when the teacher's going over stuff they don't know, but it's going to be okay. So we're going to do this. We go to Tycoon, and it's going to be a 2-minute game. So if you're taking notes, but you have a video, the only mode I allow human children to play in Gimkit is Tycoon until we get above 85%. So I'll put this in the chat too. So you can go to gimkit.com/join and then enter the code, and I'll put it in the chat, which every time I say that, who gets COVID flashbacks? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay, students, it's in the chat. Please push the button. Please push the button. It's in the chat, you guys. Because I taught full time during COVID. So just for the record. And I was sad that they only assigned me one special ed student or special needs student. But guess what, you guys? That dude grew 52 points in math. He went from first percentile to 52nd during COVID when everybody's yelling learning loss. And at his IEP, his parents said for the first time in his life, he is advocating for himself with his 6 siblings. Can you imagine never complaining with 6 siblings? So the mom looked over at me and she was like, all I need to know from this IEP is he going to be in Crippo's class again next year? That was all I need to know. And the IEP was over. That's the way I like to do IEPs. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys 2-minute game. Turkish foods. When you log in, you're going to see a word that it looks like bune, and that means what is it? And it's multiple choice. So if you get it wrong, pay attention and go again. And what we see a lot, you guys, with students is they will just sit and sit and sit. Can I get an amen? They just sit and sit and sit. Well, the thing is in Gimkit, unless you're answering, you're not finding out what the right answers are. And what you're trying to do is outscore your friends. And you can't do that if you're not playing. Oh, Jam's right to the top. Richard displaces Jam almost immediately. Friend started at number 1 and Friend has plummeted, but I think Friend's going to make a comeback. Remember, it's a language you do not know. And I know this. It is okay. Oh, Rochelle, looking very serious, pops right into second. Friend making a comeback up to 4th. Good job, Friend. If you guys get into the store, there's 3 lines on the upper left. Click those and it says questions. That's how you get out of the store. 3 lines on the upper left. The Google people call those hot dogs. All right, you guys are cooking right along. We're 1 minute in. We've only done 1 minute. Friend, steady at 5. I'm good with 5, Friend. You're halfway through and you're halfway. Okay. And just if you guys are peeking at my screen, what I get to see is your total earnings. I don't get to see much more than just what your total earnings are. But what I like to do is I'll make a note that at 1 minute, you guys had earned about $80. So I'm just going to make a note for the next round. 38 seconds. Okay, very nice. Friend, you're sliding. I want to make a big comeback, Friend. We're going to do another round here. Rochelle quietly got a stranglehold in the lead. Rochelle, you got 22 seconds to go for the win. E.T., I'm not sure if that's, that's Eric Torres. I didn't know somebody was a big sci-fi person calling out one of their favorite movies. I get it now. It's Eric Torres. 9 seconds. You guys have scored about, going to score about $440. Boom, look how close I was. Now, typically teachers will stay on this screen. See the screen that says view report, you guys? That's where I go. I go to view report and then I go like this. Okay. And then I go over here to quick stats, bottom left, quick stats. This is exactly how I do it with students. Okay, look at that. You guys just knocked out, let's call it 285 problems. I love it. 63%. Now, here's the first key moment. We got a D is what some kids would say. You know what I would say? We're halfway done.
Hmm?
If this was our vocab for the week, bro, we are halfway to an A. We've only been doing this for 2 minutes. Here's the next little trick. I go to question breakdown. Okay. Bear in mind, you guys, I'm old school enough. I used to do this on Scantrons. Do you know how much easier it is now? This is wild on Scantrons, but I can. All right. Oh, friends. This one is macaroni. I don't know what you guys were picking. Here's my guess, though. I'm guessing you were picking pasta, but folks, this is a Turkish quiz. Pasta is Italian. This is macarna. Say it with me. Macarna and cheese.
Oh.
Okay. Next one. This one could have been, okay, let's look at the options. Well, it's not macarna. It's not chocolata. And it's not potatoes. See the cognate right there? Potatoes. So what's left is donderma. So when you see the ice cream, think donderma. Say that with me, donderma. Oh, look at this. This is so sad, you guys. It's chocolate. Chocolata. See that little hook under the C? That means it has an S pronunciation. So chocolata. It's not donderma. It's not sorba. I don't even know what seeker is. Okay, last one. You guys, it's lettuce and vegetables in a bowl. This one is what? Salata. Come on. You guys live in New Mexico, for goodness sakes. You should know this. All right. So imagine this. It's Monday morning. You guys, this is the first 3 minutes of my class. This is what it feels like. And I'll tell you something I've noticed as a classroom teacher, and forgive me if I'm using any of the wrong terminology, because I know the terminology moves around. Like we don't have EL students anymore. We're MLLs now, right? So if I use any of the wrong terms, stick with me. But who's better at memorizing things than autistic people? They are the best at memorizing. This game allows them to maximize their academic potential in the academic setting. Those are the same kids that'll tell you about every Pokemon card, all the details on Pikachu, all the stuff about Lord of the Rings, whatever you want to know about trivia, they're going to tell you. So the reason I love this for resource kids and kids that are not necessarily always academic, because those kids can use a strength in their brain, which is memorizing and gaming. And here's one other thing. I don't want to play anybody on the spectrum in Call of Duty. They will wipe me out and they will not feel bad at all. Or Minecraft or Roblox. So now here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the same game again. You should be able to just hit refresh on your screen. Remember the big ones. We've got the biggies. We've got macarna, macaroni and cheese. We've got donderma, ice cream. We had salad. I hope that's not too hard for you guys this time. Salata. And then what was the other one? Oh, chocolata. Big props to you guys, though. Last week, every group had cake in the lowest group. So you guys did a good job of sorting out cake, which is KEK. So nice job there. Again, we got a 63% last time. The game is in the chat again. I'm not going to go hands-on all of the activities, but I want to, if you haven't worked with me before, I want to show you enough to know, to let you know that I know what I'm talking about in the classroom. So part of this is just, to gain favor with you that, hey, Jon gets what's going on. Okay, here we go. Start game. And if you're not in yet, you can join late. The link is in the chat. So here we go, second game. Let's see what's going on here. Fun fact, you guys, this is really fun if you can multitask. Almost never are the top four on the first round the top four on the second round. Almost never. There might be two of them, there might be one of them, there might be three of them, but it's almost never perfectly intact. And I believe that says something about brain science and repetitions. And now I'm going to shut up because I'm just wrecking your concentration is all I'm doing. But I would like to say, we're not even 1 minute in and you've already passed your last round total. And there's a pretty good chance the next time you go out to dinner, you will tell somebody something that sounds like this. Did you know makarna is Turkish for pasta? All right, 50 seconds to go. You guys were at $85 last time with 1 minute to go. You're at 1,600 right now. And again, in case you're a person that asks hard questions, yes, we're doing something that's nonsensical on purpose because I want you to be in the same position as a student who's walked right into a periodic table lesson or a lesson on slip strike faults or nouns and verbs. I want to put you under that same academic kind of stress and pressure. Okay, so last time you guys made $440 total. This time you're at 4,400, 90% bigger, 4,600, 4,800. Okay. Okay. Now, if you look at Marzano's list, I believe number 7 is student reported data. Does that sound familiar? I don't know if I'm right on the 7, but students monitoring their progress is part of Marzano's research. It is also part of Hattie. How did you guys do last time? What was our letter grade?
A D.
Yeah, big fat D. Let's look now.
Woo!
So here's the thing, like, am I the best teacher on the planet or does this just work? It just works. I'm just the guy that gave it a name. But the bottom line is we did what was it? 29 points of growth in 2 minutes of work, you guys. So I'm going to pause for a second. If you're new to this, tell me what you think of all of that.
Well, I think my students would just go crazy over this. Like, yeah, they would love it.
I actually went to a class one time, Rochelle, that was it was the kind of special ed where every single student had an aide, right? And I showed them that we were going to play this game, and all the aides were like, "What if something bad happens?" I go, "Bro, they're gamers. They are gamers. They would not stop." And these are the kids who are the, like, again, I know the terminology is not correct, but like almost medically special ed, like they had significant non-standard processing disorders. You should have seen them light up, you guys. They were having so much fun. And we were doing logos and food, and then we did some times tables, and they were smiling and laughing and saying, "Can we do another one?" And that's a bucket filler right there. That is a bucket filler. Now, this one we're not going to do, but I want to show you guys 99 math. Selena, were you there at when I presented in Albuquerque?
The one in May.
Yeah, the first
No,
one of the series. Okay.
I didn't get to be at that one. I would have loved to, but we
Oh,
were.
don't worry. So this is 99 math, you guys. It is free. It is fantastic for anything in math that kids need to memorize. And I'm only using the free version. Here's your training. Start now. And then I scroll right down here and I go to grade 4, which sounds great, but I'm going to go to grade 7, 12. And here's why. It's not that it's difficulty level. It's that I can adjust things. So let me give you guys an example. Raise your hand if math wasn't your favorite subject. Anybody? Of course, me too. I literally did not go into business because I got out of stats by taking advertising. Okay, so that's where I'm at with math. But look at this one, you guys. Look how cool this is. I can 100% customize what the kids are doing. So guess what we're doing on day one? All we're doing is A plus B times C. Can you guys see that good enough? I'll make it a little bigger. That's all we're doing. And then day two, I'm going to do A times B. So all I've done on day two is I've just changed the movement. Then I introduce a parentheses, then another parentheses. And I can slowly go through and tune the kids in. The amount of control I have is bonkers. And then here's another fun one. I rolled into, I don't know if you guys have ever taught third grade, but they don't do percents. Are you guys aware of this? It's not a thing. So I asked these third graders, how are you guys on percents? And they were like, oh, we're good. And I was like, no, you're not good. So I gave them 1% and 10%. So all they had to do, if you look at this part of the screen right here, I'll use my annotate tool. All the kids had to do was this right here, 1% of 7,800. And I gave them the quiz, and then here's another one. They're up top. So all they had to do is do 1% and 10%. But remember, these are third graders, right? What's cool about 99 Math is it does a 1 minute game, a 1 minute game, and a 1 minute game. So it's only 3 minutes total. I've had fifth graders do over 1,500 problems in 3 minutes. You guys, that's 50 problems a kid in 3 minutes, right? So I gave these first graders 1 and 10 only. And my logic is really simple. When you get to the state test, if it says it's 22% of $50, and I'm good to go, right? So teach the algorithm, but nobody will remember it. Anyways, they got 0%. And in a fun way, I laughed at them. I was like, oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh my goodness. And they're like, why are you laughing at us, mister? I go, because I've never had anybody get an actual 0 before. You guys are going to grow more than any class ever. So at the end of each of the 1 minute rounds, I go over with the kids and I show them what the pattern was and what they were missing. It was fantastic. They were like, oh, yeah. Oh, I knew that. They were all talking. We did the second round. We went from 0 to 47. We did one more round. We hit 83%. And you know what the teacher's feedback was? Well, we're not really supposed to do percents in third grade. Why wait? Why not unlock them early? But their perspective is we have to do this to do this to do this. I've got a similar story that I can tell with a second grade class that had 2 weeks to go in the year. And I said, how are you guys on times tables? And she said, and I quote, we don't teach that. And I said, let's try. You know what, you guys? They got 96% on twos in the first try. Now, imagine if all they did was times tables every day for the last 2 weeks of school. What does third grade look like? And even better, if you want to talk about brain development, what about not being afraid of times tables all summer? What is the human value of that? And so again, I'm bringing up that scenario because teachers have this mindset of I'm going to teach to here and then flatten out. And I'm like, no, dude, we're going to keep our foot on the gas the whole time. We are going to keep going. We're going to keep growing. So that's a little bit of fast and curious. It's the first and most basic of the protocols. One question might be, well, Jon, will they retain it? Give this tweet a read right here. First full week of school, I sprung a fast and curious on literary devices on my 8th graders. They did it last year. They did literary devices way back last fall, and then a refresher at winter break. Today, they got 85% on the first try. So they had not done this particular set since last winter break. And on the first week of school, they got 85% on the first try. And look at this. Guess who's sharing this data at the staff meeting tomorrow? This teacher. Woohoo. Everybody needs to be doing protocols.
Jon,
So,
there's a question in
yeah.
the chat.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. What do we got? What do we got?
I'm not sure. Jay DuPaul, do you have your hand up? Or were you giving a high five?
Oh, that was earlier.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was when I said who does not prefer teaching math.
Got it. Okay, I didn't know. Sometimes it could be a question. So carry on.
No. It's not a problem. I love it. So What is an Eduprotocol? Here's just kind of a brief version for you guys. It is basically a lesson frame. And if you look at the pictures that are changing there, the Velvet Elvis looks just as good as the Mona Lisa. One thing that we do to all learners is I'm going to go way back in the Wayback Machine, but when I got my third language arts adoption, it had 200 transparencies, more transparencies than school days. And there were probably 80 kinds of graphic organizers. Like, no, I'm not doing that. So I just settled in with Venn diagrams, and I decided, you know what, we're going to own this, and then we can do anything we want, right? And I think sometimes the publishers send us down the wrong path because they're giving us too much help. And what happens with the kids is every day it's the first day at work, like literally every day. And one thing I do love about special needs students is they will tell you to their face they are not going to do the assignment. And the other kids are either too shy or inhibited, but special needs kids are like, nope, not doing that one. So I play a game with myself, and I play a game that makes kids who are pickier feel left out instead of put upon. And that's how we got started doing protocols. So it's low cognitive load. We start with things like Turkish foods or logos or any foods to kind of teach kids how the game is played. And then as we go, we make it more technical. And another big benefit for this is for teachers that are multiple subject, even in special needs classes, you'll have a group of language arts kids and then a group of math kids, and you might have a group of remedial or things like that. So what's cool is you can use the protocols everywhere. So when people say, how do I teach a good story in social studies? I'm going to give them the same exact protocols that I would in language arts. That means teacher load is lowered, and it means cognitive load for the kids is lower. And then this is my friend Drew Skeeler in Texas. I share slides once a week. You're not going to get anywhere with these lessons until you do 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times. And it'll sound like you're going slower, but you're actually going faster because most of the protocols have between 6 and 10 standards in them. So we do not have a week where we just do division in an Eduprotocols classroom. We do not have a week where we're just doing nouns or just verbs or even nouns and verbs. We're doing the whole thing. And I'm going to do a little commercial right now. There's a Eduprotocols community on Facebook that has 23,400 teachers in it. 3 years ago, the count was 0. So it's growing really fast. And if you don't like my jokes or just my affect, there's 23,900 other people you can get help from. But I don't want you to be disappointed with Eduprotocols because people routinely tell us that this is the only thing that's ever worked for them. So a little bit more on the technical, and then I'll show you a couple more of the protocols. When I was a student, this is what I got most all the time in class. I would get direct instruction, and then I would do a little worksheet, and the teacher would collect it. And then later I would get feedback. And later might be a week, might be never. So what we've changed here in Eduprotocols is we've done this. Ooh, I'm going to change colors for dramatic effect. There we go. We start with doing work, just like we did with Turkish foods. We just get in there. Remember the second graders? They got to 96% on times tables, right? I don't need to wait. I can start now. When does the feedback happen? Immediately. And I can limit the feedback to just the most missed items. And then we repeat the work. So what I want you to take away from this graphic is this. There's nothing on this side right here that's new. We're just changing the arrangement to make it more pleasurable for the learners, more impactful. And I talked about the repetitions. This is called the Ebbinghaus effect or the forgetting curve. But look at this. If you do something one time, 4 weeks later, your retention is down here in the teens. If you do something a second, third, and fourth time, look at your retention. You're in the low 70s. Remember that tweet I shared? 85% retention 6 months later. And that's how all human brains work, except for, of course, in special needs, there are a few kids that have an actual physical, memory problem. But for kids that do not have that kind of a deficit, it always works. Okay. Here's another one you may not have heard of. It's called the ipsative effect. And ipsative learning basically says if you do something and you get a score, that's the key part. You do something and you get a score, your first instinct is to reflect and say, you know what? If I do that again, I could get a better score. And then you get more feedback and then you reflect and the cycle repeats ad infinitum. Some real life examples would include bowling. We bowl a lot, but our scores don't go up as fast as we would like. Golf, we hit the ball and chase it, and then we hit it some more. And it doesn't go exactly where we want, but we think we're getting better. I used to have an aunt who we had big family reunion at Thanksgiving. She would play solitaire for 4 days straight. She wasn't even playing against anybody. She just wanted to clean up the cards as efficiently as possible. And then in case you have a Candy Crush, you are in on this. That would also include Wordle, words with friends, any of those things like that. It's just a way humans work. We do a thing, we see results, we try it again. I mean, think how old fishing is as a behavior, right? Do you always catch a fish? No, but when you do, if you catch one good fish, you'll keep doing it for hours, hoping that you'll catch another. We can unlock that part of the brain in the classroom. And that's where I think Eduprotocols really crosses over magnificently to the UDL part. And I hope you guys have seen these pictures before from UDL. If you just search UDL and go to images, but look, this part of the brain is engagement. Notice it's really close to the amygdala. This part of the brain is representation, and this part of the brain is action and expression. And when we're really doing protocols correctly, we're hitting all of those all the time. And the lady that I was talking to from UDL, she agreed with me because I said, I think sometimes teachers think they need to stop to do a UDL lesson, or they do a UDL lesson with just one thing in mind. But when we do protocols, we're hitting all the parts at once. And again, I'll show you guys some more examples here as we get farther down. Just for clarity, protocols are research-based. So we've aligned to Hattie, Marzano. You'll see elements of like Kagan style things in there. We are a pedagogical approach. We are not a curriculum. So if you have a if you have a curriculum, curriculums come with vocab. You can do the vocab as a worksheet that you correct tonight, or you can do the worksheet as a fast and curious. It's still the adopted curriculum. I'm just changing the way I deploy it. Okay. And most of the protocols work that way. If you have a story, you can do a cyber sandwich. If you need to chart something, you can do graph and tell. If you want to compare something, you can do cyber sandwich. If you want to do reading comprehension, you can do sketch and tello. And there's lots and lots of UDL involved and SEL involved because we're very, very cognizant of keeping the kids engaged and getting what Mihaly, and I butcher his name, but his first name is Mihaly, and he wrote a book called Flow that was very popular about 10 years ago. And in a flow state, kids forget that their body exists. They are plugged into the activity. And that's when you get the maximum learning. Now, check this out for results, you guys. I don't know if any of you have taught 7th grade. 7th grade is a wild beast nowadays. Look at this. We did our iReady. The students are amazing. Learning was fun and impactful due to protocols. Thank you. This is a 7th grade ELA class. This is about a 5th-year teacher, you guys. I've never felt so confident in my teaching and learning and being an effective facilitator. So that's Brooke down in Southern California. No, she's not at a private school. No, she's not at a big fancy school. Here's how you know. 16% passing in the fall, according to iReady. 16%. Look at this. Triple, 47% in the spring. And this is my favorite part. She went from 59% below grade level to 28. Even the low group was getting cut in half statistically. I mean, if numbers aren't your thing, just look at how much red there is here compared to how much red there is here. Look at how much green there is. That's crazy. Okay. People are not getting results like that all over the United States. And here's how I know. I've been on TikTok. Oh my gosh, the complaining, the whining, ridiculous. But it's not the teacher's fault in the sense that they're just trying to execute what they've been taught. They got to get out of that mindset if they want better results. You change the mindset, you'll change the results. Have you guys seen Snorkel yet? Now I'm going to blow your minds. Okay, watch this. Watch this. So when I say AI in the classroom, a lot of teachers think what? Chat GPT. No. AI in the classroom is for me. So watch this. I'm going to give you guys the Big Mac activity that I made the other day. This was fantastic. Let's see, SD admins. Here we go. I'm going to drop you guys into the Big Mac. Let me go back to my library. Hold on. I'm going to make a copy first. So what I love about this assignment, this tool, is it takes what you write, type, and say into account. So I'm going to call this NM All-Stars because I'm expecting some big scores from you guys. No pressure. All right. So I've made my little assignment. Watch this. Accessibility. They can have a read aloud from the whiteboard and translate. Snorkel does 50 languages that student selects. Snorkel Coach. Kids can ask for help on the sidebar, but it's just within Snorkel. It's not like full-on Chat GPT. And I'm going to put you guys in guest. So when you go to log in, it's going to go Google, Microsoft, and then guest. So hit that third one. So I'm going to go assign. And here's your activity, you guys. Here we go. I'm going to share the activity. Your activity is to read the Big Mac song, you know, to all beef patty special sauce. You got to read it in 2 seconds or less with good fluency, and then tell me why you do or do not like a Big Mac. And I'm going to put this one in the chat too. So you can go to join.snorkel.app, or you can hit the chat. I just put it in the chat. And then I want to point one other thing out. Now, I'm on cold meds right now, and I'm kind of messed up. So my sense of time is not that great. But you guys tell me, 45 minutes has gone past pretty fast, right? It zipped right along. That's because we're doing activities. You're not just sitting all the time. We're doing stuff. We're learning. You guys getting in okay? You can hit me in the chat or unmute. Yeah, Selena, and this one is audio only feedback. Audio only.
John, can you move your head to the side? You're blocking the first letter. There we go. Now we got it.
Kim Bogey is, when I tell Kim Bogey that, she's going to kill me. Oh my
Right.
God.
I love
That is
it,
so
but
funny.
we can't get the first letter. So
My big fat head. Okay, that's what I get for being sneaky.
nope.
All right.
Okay. I think if everybody got it, I'll grab it and I'll stick it in the chat in case you missed it. So
I put the quink link in the chat too, if you go right above Selena's comment. So you guys, all you have to do is read the song with fluency and then give one reason that you do or do not like a Big Mac. No judgment. And you're off to the races. So if you guys want, if you can, I'm going to just shut up for a minute. I'm just going to let you work. This is my hardest part of being a teacher, just letting the people be people. And if you're wondering how to submit, it's the big giant purple button. Okay, we got our first ones in. All right, let's see how we're doing. So if you guys want to look on my screen right real quick, look at this. Great job. Rachel, you got a 2 out of 4.
I don't
Great.
understand that, but it's fine.
Well, but look at the input. It says right here, great job reading the slogan clearly with no mistakes. Can you read it faster next time to meet the 2-second goal? Second, I like your reason that Big Macs are messy. That makes sense. You gave a clear opinion about why you don't like them. So here's why you got a lowered grade, Rachel. When I built this originally, there was a drag and drop. See what the third one says? You forgot to do the drag and drop, but I'm giving it to you as an audio only quiz. But watch this. The AI doesn't score you, Rachel. I'm going to go correct. 4 out of 4. Excellent. Good job, Rachel. Because all the Snorkel is doing is screening it for me. The Snorkel is not the end all be all. I'm still the teacher. So let's see what Michelle got. Oh, Michelle got strong all by herself, Rachel. I'm not saying that I'm comparing. Just kidding. So great job reading the slogan. Click quickly. You read all the words and finished in time. So Rachel, there's a button on your screen here that says submit again or respond again. The kids can submit an unlimited amount of times, you guys. And then if you look at the bottom here, I can edit and I can put in little things like this. Please add a reason for Mr. C. So I can personalize the feedback that the kids are getting. So it's not just rando AI coming through. I'm running the show. And then let's see how we're doing as the other ones are coming in. Yeah. Okay. So, strong from Jen. Let's see what Jen has. Great job reading the slogan quickly. I love how he explained exactly why you don't like Big Macs. Good job, Jen. You did a great job with the reading and opinions. But again, you guys, I need to delete that draggable part. But what do you think? Is that not cool? And watch how fast I can make one. I'm going to make one for you guys from scratch right here. Ready? Okay. So I go create an activity. And then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab, I'm going to just grab a poem. I can just take something like this right here. You can literally put anything in there and go like this, copy that, hop over to Snorkel. And then here's the different activities I can pick. I can put whiteboard with speak, type, and draw, whiteboard only. So just type or draw. This is what I gave you guys, audio only. And then they can do writing only. But let me show you what a whiteboard only looks like. I can just, oh no, I'm not. I don't want to do whiteboard only. I want to do audio only. So if I was doing something for fluency, I could say fluency activity, and I could go to audio only, and then simply hit add question and paste in that text. And again, it literally doesn't matter. So I could pull something right out of my curriculum. I can take out the footnotes here. The kids will call me out on that if I do that. Don't do that. And then I can then add a secondary question right here, which is like, what is your favorite poem and why? Okay, and then I go done editing. This is the part where the AI starts kicking in, though, you guys. This is crazy. Generate. Just from that little chunk of text, it's going to make me a rubric for that text. So imagine, I'm going to pick on you, Michelle, because I haven't brought you up much. Michelle's teaching 3rd grade. She needs to do a fluency check on her kids. Take a chunk of text from your adopted curriculum, put it in there. Ask the kids about the beginning, middle, and end. Ask them about the protagonist, the setting, whatever you want to do. And look what it builds you. Here's the answer criteria. The AI made that. I hit confirm. I hit assign. It's gone that fast. Is that not bonkers? And then I'm going to go back and show you guys some of the pre-built stuff because there's thousands in there that are pre-built. So I'm going to now select find an activity. Okay. Find an activity. And there's tons here in all grade levels. I'll go slow so you guys can see them. Algebra all the way up through calculus. One of the owners is a math teacher, so there's a lot of math in there. Life science, chemistry, all that stuff. World languages, Chinese. But look at this section, Selena. Eduprotocols. So a bunch of the protocols are in there, and they're now self-grading. But I'm going to send you guys to Math Reps just to show you what this looks like. I'm going to pick 3rd grade edition 2. Try as a student. And I'll just do it for you guys to give you an idea of how it works. It is so cool because I can get in here now and I can actually imagine this. A math worksheet on almost anything is now self-correcting in real time. One other little detail for you guys. See on my screen, see where my little face is right there? Students can go to language settings and they can change up to 50 languages. Hebrew, Tamil, Russian. There's actually Catalan and Spanish, Mexico-based Spanish. So now look at the kind of work kids can do now. Today's number. Okay, number 1 is 5, 6, 8. Number 2 says, oh, no, see, I already screwed that one. What is the value of the digit in the hundreds place? There we go. It is 60. What is the value of the digit in the hundreds place? It is 500. And then look at this. It has manipulatives. You can drag them out of the toolbox. 560. Oops, gotta grab that there. And I can do that. I can do this. And then I go like this. Hi, my name is John. Today's number 1. The value in the digit in the hundreds place is 60. And the value of the digit in the hundreds place is 500. Based on what I typed and wrote and said, it's now going to give me real-time feedback. And it doesn't care about grade level. You could use this with a special needs kid in an AP class, or you could use it with a 4-year-old. And here's what's wild about it, you guys. I did this with some second graders, and I said, the instructions were draw a number line, 0 through 20, because I wanted to see if they could draw it pretty straight and what the spacing was be. That was my mind, right? Can they make a number line and get the spacing about right? And then the second piece said, label the midpoint. And you know what Snorkel did without asking me? It started asking the kids, well, you got 10 as the midpoint. That's correct. How'd you know it was 10? And just like that, it went to a DOK3 problem, right? It's one thing to know 10 is the middle. It's another thing to explain how. And one last quick story. I did this with some math teachers. I gave them a 2-step equation. I did not explain Snorkel to them. I just threw them in. Almost all of them got it wrong, incorrect. They were really mad because 7 was in fact the correct answer. But guess what they didn't do, you guys? They didn't explain their thinking, and they didn't model it. So it takes the audio input, it takes the video, whatever you type or drew, and look at, if it makes you feel better, Rochelle, I got a 1 out of 4 on my own problem. But look at this. I noticed you said hundreds digit is 60. Can you look at the number again and tell me? That's cool. And then if I, oh shoot, I got to look at that one. I hit respond again, and I can update my answer. So I don't want to spend too much time on Snorkel, but you guys see why I like that from a UDL perspective. Anything that could be a boring worksheet is now a gamified, real-time feedback, super creative, and super technical assignment. And I'm going to really blow your minds right now. Let's say I've got a wildly different group. I could give them both the same math rep that I just showed you guys, but one could be 3-digit and one could be 2-digit. Same standards, one has a bigger number. So I think that's a fantastic new tool for all the protocol stuff. One other thing I want to show you guys real quick is Learning Genie. If you guys haven't played with this, Learning Genie is fantastic for making lessons. I'm not going to make one right now. It'll make you 10 weeks of lessons in under 15 minutes. I'm going to show you guys a couple that I've been making recently with some demonstrations. Here we go. So here are some of the ones that I made. And then they have an AI literacy curriculum that you and your friends might want to take. But look at this. We did cell transport. We did a lesson on cell transport, because that is super sexy for most people, right? When you say cell transport, they just lose their minds. So guess what we did, though? Students will investigate cell transport through local culture and Shrek and the culinary tradition of burritos. And it made the lessons. Great question, Rebecca Thomas. They are both have a paid version. In Snorkel, you can have 20 lessons at any time. So you can delete 5 and then you're back to 20, right? So you can have 20 total at any time. And then Learning Genie is free as long as you keep sharing. So when you finish your lesson, a little pop-up says, would you share this to Facebook? And if you do, you get 2 credits. So every time you make 1, you get 2. So it's pretty cool. But look at my weekly unit, you guys. It built all of this for me. The Burrito Barrier Challenge, Shrek Swamp, The cell membrane mystery, llamas on the move, exploring diffusion and osmosis. That's classic right there. Building burrito activity versus passive transport, cook-off, and desert homeostasis, survival in Palm Springs. It's all made, and here's the best part, it all goes out to Google Drive or Word, so you're not trapped in it. And it makes the vocabulary, and guess what? It's UDL ready. And it makes the formative assessments, all the stuff you need is ready to go. It makes, ready for this, the formative assessment questions that go with the quiz that it made. It makes grade level reading activities, and you can pick the level and see right here, adapt. So I can say, this particular lesson, we had Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, and Armenia, but I could do like this, Mexico, and it will feather in any countries that you need to have your students relate to, racial or ethnic backgrounds, home languages, and are they on IPs and what for? And you can throw in all of that stuff and it'll adapt it like it does it for you. And I think this is an important tool to share with you guys as we wrap up, because one of the things teachers are always out of is time, and they spend a lot of time making stuff from scratch or stealing it from TPT. But I didn't say that. This allows the teacher to really represent the work and the interest of the kids and really be like a professional artist. And this is the best part for the wrap up. I've seen teachers that are actually co-planning their units with the kids. So they're having them do some protocols like Sketch and Tello or Thin Slides to get the kids up to speed on the content. And then they're actually building out the lesson. And that's why, just for clarity, that's why we had Shrek and burritos and desert. I was in Palm Springs. We wanted to reference the local, landscape. And then the Shrek and the burritos were just to make it fun. So these are all my slides. And here's my email. And I'll tell you right now, I know I already went too fast. This is 27 years worth of skills packed into a 41-minute session. Thanks, Janae. What I wanted to do, though, my goal was to make you kind of curious. Wow, is this guy crazy or is he onto something? Because as long as you're curious, humans are fantastic. Once you're curious, you might do this. You might Google the phrase Eduprotocols. You might visit the Facebook group. But if you can use a computer and just type in Eduprotocols, you'll see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of teachers using these all over the place. And there's a QR code, and I will also put it in the chat. And I want to be very mindful of your time. And look, I'm 2 minutes early, Janae. Even with your super strict rules, I was able to get everything in there.
I love it. I cannot thank you enough, Jon, even though you're under the weather, for coming to visit with us. You know, we are all super fans of you and Eduprotocols. So New Mexico UDL cannot thank you enough for joining us. And I hope everybody learned something new today. Jon, they said the slides they don't have access to.
Oh, no, party foul. I'm going to blame that on the cold meds. Hold on.
All good.
Now, here we go. Fixing. And fix, guilty as charged. Okay, there we go. It's good now. And then I want to just give you guys one more quick thing. I got connected with a teacher the other day down in San Diego. We were talking. Think this way, guys. Think manageable. What kind of world would it be if every kid left third grade knowing all their math facts? That's addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. If they could write a paragraph and knew the 8 parts of speech, how cool would that be for the rest of their whole career? So when you start making changes like this, it's tempting to say, we're all going to do this because it's so amazing. But the reality of it is that sounds scary. But what if we just say, hey, I'm going to show you guys some tricks, and we're going to get everybody their times tables and writing a paragraph by the end of third grade. Using these techniques, that is doable. And just like I want you guys to be curious, the students will be curious. The students will say, well, if we could do that, what else could we do? Because I guarantee you guys, if you follow the nuances and instructions, you can have all the third graders done with times tables before Christmas. And yes, there is snow outside where I'm at. We could still be done before Christmas. They could be done with all their times table stuff in about 3 to 4 weeks max. They'll be fine. And if you're doubting me, imagine a classroom where they say this: we're going to focus on one Pokemon character all week. It's going to be great. How would have third graders respond to that? They'd be like, come on, man, give me more. We can do the same with their learning. So thank you, everybody. If you want to hit pause, Janae, on the recording, people are more aggressive with their questions once the recording's over.